Next week, skullduggery and hijinks erupt at the most outrageous school in England, whose pupils decide to form a trade union of British schoolgirls. The Wildcats of St Trinian's, next Friday at 7:20. Because of unusual reception conditions, viewers in some areas may be getting interference from other stations on their television pictures and sound. Whilst these conditions continue, we advise you not to adjust the controls of your set. Now on BBC1, Barry Took airs some more of your points of view.
Hello, remember me? What's been on since I was here last? Oh yes, Wreath. I don't mean that I'm pre-Wreath, I mean the two plays on the subject of the great man. Here are your reactions. First, Stuart Phillip of Dunfermline.
Wreath, fantastic. Tom Fleming was brilliant.
Des Crowton of West Molesey says of the production,
superb. Everyone concerned deserves an Oscar.
Mrs. Beresford of Nether Wallop comments, however,
where today can one find a newsreader with the timbre, voice and grace of Freddie Griswood, Stuart Hibbert and Alvar Liddell?
Who knows, but could they wear clothes like Moira Stewart, Sue Lawley and Jan Leeming? And on that subject, this, from Shirley Thomas of Canvey Island.
It is with deep sadness and regret that I write to complain that the Beeb's very bastion of decency, i.e. Jan Leeming no less,
I didn't know she was an IE.
had the audacity to read the news this evening in a dress that blatantly revealed her underwear.
Are we about to be engulfed in another tide of filth?
What next, I dare ask myself? Frank Boff or even Tookie gracing our screens in their Y-fronts? The mind boggles.
As boggle it might. Now, members of the Points of View Hawkeye Club will be delighted by this report by our newest member, Bill Lamb, who writes from Saltford, Avon, on the subject of Juliet Bravo.
Where is this place called Hartley? They have foliage on their trees in mid-November and very healthy-looking grass. The sun rises early so that it's quite light at 6 in the morning.
Ah.
Ah, you say. It is a recorded programme and the story takes place in August. Some shadows indicate the sun almost overhead, which might even suggest filming in July. Why, then, are all the members of the Hartley police wearing their Remembrance Day poppies?
I put it down to extreme patriotism. Next. Oh, yes, this. How nice. It's from Bill Chisholm of Middleton, Manchester.
Peter Alice, the personality of the day. Charming, smartly dressed and entertaining. There is still hope for the declining English.
Let's see this paragon. Here he is in a moment from his current series, Around with Alice.
Hurry, 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 hurry.
That's even better.
No, it may kick the bank and... Go on! Hold it. Stop.
Very good.
Oh.
Very good.
I say, that was a bit impressive. They'll never believe us, you know.
They won't.
They'll never believe that we can still actually get these ageing bones round the course, Michael.
The aging bones of Peter Alice. He was there with Michael Benalek at the Old Thorn Golf and Country Club, Liphook in Hampshire. And now from the sublime to the, well, not ridiculous exactly, but, well, here's the letter. It's from R.C. Ward of Chippenham.
You were good enough to use my last letter, which was typewritten.
And?
A few days ago, the cat brought in a live mouse, which escaped and concealed itself in the typewriter. My son took the typewriter out to the garage, complete with mouse, in order to let the mouse escape, and then backed the car over it.
Well, that's one method, I suppose.
So you will have to put up with my awful handwriting. My complaint...
Now we're coming to it.
...is that too often the background music drowns out the dialogue, or even the singer.
Now, we have more letters on this subject than almost any other. Here's Maisie Raymond of New Malden.
Can you do something to persuade the producers of programmes that we, the viewers, do not need the incessant background music which swamps the human voice? So many programmes are completely ruined by a too loud and unnecessary orchestra.
And here's Mrs. E.S. Blake of Billinghay, Lincolnshire.
Can no one get through to the powers that be to register the dislike of so many viewers of so-called background music?
Yes, but the problem is not one that can be legislated for. Last year, we quoted a number of letters on the same theme and received this from Dr. Ross Coles of the Institute of Hearing Research, Nottingham. In it, Dr. Coles says,
difficulty in hearing speech in a background of other sounds is something which increases with age and with any form of damage to the internal ear.
Dr. Coles' letter continued,
13% of the adult population have this sort of difficulty.
And that's something around 5.5 million people. So you can see that it's a widespread problem, which I doubt will ever be solved to everyone's satisfaction. Well, last week, as you probably know, was devoted to the Children in Need appeal, and David Fowler from Newcastle upon Tyne wrote,
The highlight of the night was the beautiful Joanna Lumley.
Well, David enclosed £1 in his letter and says that the whole point of writing
Is to see again the part of the show when Joanna took off her dress.
Then he goes on with some lame excuse about today being his father's birthday. Well, for a donation to children in need, all things are possible. Here's Joanna. Thank heavens it wasn't Russell Grant. And now from Joanna Lumley to Jane Eyre. Very popular with many. Peggy and Joan Kirkby of Stapleford, Nottingham, for instance.
Dear Barry, dear, my sister and I, being dedicated Bronte fans, have been watching the present series Jane Eyre with considerable interest. And we are pleased to be able to report we consider this the best so far.
Well, that's very nice to hear. I must confess that the Tooke family, at least our bit of it, find it gripping. But as you know, I don't quote my own opinions on this programme, but yours. And here's Nardine Alder of Colby, Lincoln.
I am not allowed to stay up and watch your programme, but my mum and dad told me that some people have written in telling you how awful they think Jane Eyre is.
They did.
I have never seen it on television before, and I think it is super.
Good. Now here's Mrs. A. Coward of Netherthong near Huddersfield. Right on the Bronte doorstep.
Dear Mr. Tooke, I would like to state how much I am enjoying the present Jane Eyre series. The parts of Jane and Mr. Rochester especially are played superbly, and I have never before seen it performed with so much accuracy to detail, both words and settings, as in this series.
Well, we've had many more letters on the subject, but I've chosen these two from Jessica and Kate Bramham of Carlton near Skipton. First, Jessica.
We love watching Jane Eyre. We've watched all the episodes, but episode 7 was scary when the lunatic came into Jane's room and tore Jane's veil.
Kate Bramham takes up the story.
After the programme, we were scared still. We went upstairs with our dad and came down again and had a piece of toast and went to bed.
Well, thank you for writing, Kate and Jessica. Oh, they're 7, by the way. And now, this week's plant. It's an Aralia Sepuldiae. And I'm glad that the horticultural-minded among you have taken to commenting on our little fronds. I'm not too sure about this, though. It's from El Marsh of Bollington, Cheshire.
Took. Surely the plant on your desk is a species of Sycophantia immunosa. Otherwise, complete exposure to such direct flummery from your correspondence would have killed it long ago.
Yes, it sometimes looks like that from here, too. But on the whole, we do tell it the way it is. And many of our letters are requests. This, from Dave Wendon of Colchester, is typical.
On last Thursday's Blue Peter, they reported on a tractor museum, and we were treated to a report on an old rare machine called a gyrotiller. Can you give me the pleasure of seeing the wonderfully preserved machine working on the screen again?
Of course. Reality in the shape of the 9 o'clock news is only seconds away. Until then, a moment of nostalgia. From me until next week, goodbye. Oh, and Melita from Brixton, say goodnight to the children. Bye.
If you have any comments on BBC television programmes, please write to Points of View, BBC Television, London W12 8QT.